The hardest thing for me has been like learning to tolerate people. Because it is hard dealing with people, especially now that I've spent a lot of time by myself. Like, I do encourage people a lot of the times to spend time alone, but sometimes spending too much time alone, seriously, it's like living in a part of the world. It's like that movie with Will Smith called I Am Legend, where like, everyone dies because of that disease that was going around. His wife and his daughter Marley die in like that helicopter. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And then he just has been existing on his own for so long that like when that lady and her son came around, and they found him, I really do remember the movie because I've watched it so many times. Basically, they found him, brought him home, and then the next morning she was like making breakfast and he got upset because he was saving that bacon and eggs for something. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes a thing where it's like it's hard to tolerate people. And I've realized that, like, for myself. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, being alone allows you to observe yourself a lot, observe the world. And it's not like I haven't been around people. People are constantly around me. I live in a home where I constantly have to see people, but that deep, um, that real, like, that interaction, that vulnerability, I guess, hasn't been there. Like me being open to people. Like, I'm very honest with myself. Um, I try to be as honest with myself as possible and not delusional. But then again, I am self-aware. And there are things that you want in life, and then you talk yourself into doing certain things in order to be successful. Um, and sometimes you meet people, and like, I've met people who are just like always so into me, like being around me, and I could understand it. But then I easily get like annoyed. I've realized from being around people for too long these days. Like, yesterday I hung out with someone, and within a couple hours I just wanted to be alone. And I don't know, I don't think that's like great. So I am working on learning to tolerate people more. Yeah, my people skills aren't really up there. Like, when I'm allowed to be myself and be honest and stuff, like, I'm so good at holding an honest conversation. But then you realize, like, in this world, in order to survive, you have to be like this, have this fake persona, you know, act like someone else, like act like someone from like a movie, and like these things in order to survive. And you have to do it. Like, it's either you complain about it, like, which is something that like someone like me does. It's like, the world, people are so. But then you realize, it doesn't matter what you say. People will continue being who they are and acting as they do because that's how they survive. You know what I mean? That's how they are successful and doing these things. For someone who loves watching movies, sometimes I feel like I should really get that, it's just a movie. Like, watching movies sometimes makes me feel so many different things. Like, I'd watch a movie and cry, and listen to a song and cry. And that's the whole purpose of movies and stuff, and writings and things. Some of them are very honest. Some of them are honest with a little bit of juice, a little bit of sauce, like when they say based on a true story, but those aren't the things that actually happen. Like, these are actors acting out a scene and stuff like that. So you realize basically what I'm trying to say. I can be a good actor. Absolutely. I know that I can. I have been. But at what point in my life am I going to be allowed to just be honest? at what point in my life do I find someone where I could just be honest with them? Like sometimes that's just all you need, like one person that you can just be yourself around without like being judged. But we're so accustomed to judging and being fake that we make that our whole personality. And I was just like, I don't understand living a life acting in that way. Every day you're an actor. It's exhausting to me. Like, I just want to be myself. I just want to do the things that I like to do, you know, without having to be fake and be what I'm not and be dishonest and manipulative and all these things. And yeah, so it's hard for me. It's harder for some people when you know the truth and you understand things as they are. You just want to live in your truth. You don't want to be like this fake person out here. You just want to be yourself. And in a world where everybody's just trying to be like someone else, when you try to be yourself, like, you get judged a lot. And it's like you have to learn to deal with that judgment and all those things. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, simply put. So, yeah, that's something that I've been working on. It's something that I need to overcome. It's just learning to tolerate people. Even like I've met someone, a guy that I've dated, who's come back, trying to come back into my life, which, you know, like, it's okay, like, to be friends with people. And I also have had to learn to, I guess, is that forgive or just accept people as they are. And the truth is, like, I do accept people as they are, and I don't have a problem talking to people, but people always want to have more with me. It's like you date a guy, it doesn't work out, okay, you still want to be friends, but you still want to also have sex and all those things, and it's just, that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? To me, that's gross. Like, once upon a time, yes, now no. Can we talk? Can we be friends? We could talk sometimes, but that part is just not something that I'm interested in. And sometimes it's just, why can't you get that? You know? And again, like, I've accepted you for who you are, so accept me too and fuck off. You know what I mean? Don't try to force things that I don't want to happen. So it's not like I don't accept people for who they are. I do. But it's like accepting someone, but then they still want you to accept the fact that they can't control themselves. And that's just like a no. You have to learn to control yourself. So that's it. Tolerating people. It's not like I'm not, like, again, I accept people for who they are. You're stupid, okay, great. You're not that smart, okay, great. You want to do this, okay, great. But as it relates to me, I don't want you to touch me. It's just, it's very annoying. You know, it's like, how do I say, how much more do I need to say that, like, I don't want to have a relationship like that with you? So it's harder for me, I guess, for some people, because sometimes you just want to be around people, but then they try to, like, just force whatever it is onto you. That's the part I have a problem with. Not the fact that you are as you are, ignorant, whatever. I like smart people. It's very important for me to be around people that are smart, that stimulate my mind. And when I'm around people that aren't, it very much annoys me. Especially people that can't control themselves, like, think they're always right, aren't willing to listen, you know? So tolerating people is hard because most people don't even understand themselves. And if they did and they really paid attention to their attitudes, they would be like, would I want to deal with somebody like that?